Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to everybody in attendance tonight at the Community and Culture meeting, and those also watching along at home. I'm declaring the meeting open at 5 p.m. First up, I need to move a procedural motion, to move that Councillor Belinda Neal, due to apologies from other councillors, be a voting member of the committee this evening. I move that procedural.
You need a second?
You don't need a seconder for a procedural. In favour of the procedural?
Thank you. That was a false notion that I put forward.
Oh, I didn't think you did. Anyway. Okay, so with that, Belinda, Councillor Neal will be so now given the acknowledgement of the country, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work and play, and pay our respects to Darkinjung country and elders past and present. We recognise the continuing connection to these lands and waterways and extend this acknowledgement to the homelands and stories of those who also call this place home. We recognise our future leaders and the shared responsibility to care for and respect. I'd like to remind all councillors and at this meeting that the meeting is live streamed and your image and what you say may be broadcast live to the public. So please be mindful of your actions and your comments. You should avoid making statements that might defame or offend. So note the recording of this meeting will be retained online and in council archives. Please turn any mobile phones off them to silent. Filming of photography are not permitted in the meeting, and anyone observing to be filming the meeting may be asked to leave. Now, apologies. I have an apology from Councillor Trent Wade. Councillor Trent McQuaid, his apology. Councillor Neal and Councillor McGregor, vote in favour accepting the apology of McQuaid. Unanimous. Thank you. There haven't been any requests to attend by audio visual link. Okay, disclosures of interest. I'm going to ask now if the members to disclose any conflicts of interest. Agenda. I can confirm for myself that I do not have any conflicts for any items on the agenda tonight. Councillor McQuaid is obviously not here, so anybody in the room who is a member have any conflicts? No conflicts.
Chair,
Sorry.
member, but we'll just declare a less than significant non-pecuniary interest in item 2.2, the Sister City Edigala delegation, as I'm the president of the Sister City Association.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Okay, so need confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. Remind me that meeting was. So, 12th of May. All right, I've seen it. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Apologies, everybody. So, recommendation that the committee confirms the minutes of Community and Culture Committee held on the 12th of May as read, and as a true record of that meeting. I'll call for a mover for those minutes. So Walsh, second Councillor McNamara. I now put the motion. All those in favour of the motion, please raise your hand and keep it raised. Myself, Councillor Neal, Councillor McGregor, Councillor Walsh, Councillor McNamara and Councillor Daniels. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Okay, item 1.7, which is item controlled by exception. So I'm going to call out the names of the items, and if you wish to start an item to be discussed tonight, then obviously we will be discussing that. Anything that is not starred will be resolved en masse. So the first one is 2.1, Australian Local Government Women's Association ALGWA Conference 2027. It's a planning update. Does anyone want to talk about that? Okay, no. The second one is Central Coast Sister City Edagawa delegation visit. It's an update. Does anybody want to speak on that? Okay.
Not a committee member.
Yeah.
Requested that be.
Yep, that's fine. The 2.3 Leisure and Aquatics Customer Satisfaction Survey, which is for information. Anybody want to talk about that?
I'd like to hear.
That's a wash. The 2.4 Water and
I'd
Sewer.
like to move an amendment on that matter.
Which one's that? So
2.4.
Oh, 2.4, okay, so we'll star it. And 2.5, which is the New South Wales Government Shark Management Program Drone Surveillance Funding. And again, this has been put up for information. Does anybody want to discuss that? Okay, so the ones that we're moving, no, yes?
Sorry, I just said this is going to be a quick meeting.
It could be a quick meeting. Okay, so the items resolved by exception. Do I have a motion to resolve by exception the algal one and the shark one? Councillor Walsh, and did you second that, Councillor Daniels? Councillor Walsh and Daniels, all those in favour? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, so now we'll move on to 2.2, which is the Sister City Edagawa delegation visit update. And I believe if you want to speak to that, Director Smith, just briefly.
I will take the report as read and respond to any questions.
Yeah, so Councillor Smith, I think you had a specific.
Yeah, do you want to move the recommendation first?
I can do that, yeah. So we move the recommendation, which is notes at the screen there. Move for the recommendation. Councillor O'Neill.
Wait a second.
Councillor Walsh, all those in favour of the recommendation?
No, I wanted to ask a question.
Oh, sorry, now you're going to ask the question. Right, sorry, I'm getting myself confused.
Thank you. Thank you, Director, for the report. So just a simple question. I note that there is the expectation that the visit will proceed in 2027. I'm just wondering if we're going, if we're able to start planning for that. I know one of the issues this year was the budget, and I'm just thinking if we're booking things now, we might, get better prices than closer to the date. So do we know what dates the Mayor is looking at?
The Mayor's proposed the month of May, and we've already started planning. So we are working with it to progress now.
Yep. Is it soccer season in May? I'm sure he'd be interested. That's probably why it's not coming. Chair, with your indulgence, I did, if you would be happy to just put a part 3, although it's not directly relevant, just to note the passing of Margaret Hardy, who was a significant person in the sister city relationship with Edagawa, Japan, and she did pass away. I think it was Friday. Sorry, I don't know the exact day, but there's already been a lot in the community said about Margaret, so I won't go on, but just recognising her contribution to that sister city relationship. She did receive a special award from former Edagawa Mayor Tata in 2018, and it was it was a significant award for her to be acknowledged by Edagawa for her contribution, let alone.
Would somebody be willing to move that in on Councillor Smith's behalf?
I'm happy to.
Yes. Okay, Councillor Walsh, and do I have a seconder? Councillor McNamara. So now with that, all those in favour, now we've included, do you want, have we got that up there? No.
Look, I'll send some wording to the staff. I think the intent is clear, so it's just acknowledging.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So now the recommendation on the screen, also including noting the passing of Margaret Hardy, and there'll be some.
So I consent as the mover to the incorporation of that amendment.
Thank you. Right, so all those in favour? Okay, that's unanimous. So the motion is carried. leisure and aquatics. Now, if we have that start, I'm just going back to check. Yeah, yes, you had. Yes. Okay, yes, we did. So the recommendation, was it just a question that somebody had? Councillor Washington.
I would, through you, Madam Chair, to the director, if you would just have some general comment on the report in terms of satisfaction, in terms of feedback. I think that it seems quite positive, and I think that's great to hear about that. Yeah, so in terms of I didn't actually see the survey. Sorry, apologies. I didn't actually see the survey. So in terms of what was asked in the survey, director, and then the feedback, just general comments, statements that you might have on its, I suppose, the effectiveness of the survey too.
The survey. I might pass to Canton, Unit Manager of Leisure Beach Safety and so just your overall general comments about the survey.
Yeah, just general comments. So it's a survey we do every 2 years. We do it for each of our 6 leisure and aquatics facilities. We've been doing it since 2018. General positives are really are good.
That's a good, sorry, that's a good response.
Yeah, over 1,000 people survey. Percentage of people satisfied was 90%. We ask them a number of questions around the services delivered, whether that be the creche, the gym, the pool, learn to swim, etc. We also ask them about the condition of the facility and the cleanliness of the changing rooms. We also ask them for feedback around improvements. And some of those improvements have actually got in the leisure and aquatic strategy over the years to improve the change, improve cleanliness, and just keep general maintenance of the facilities to a high standard. They're really positive around council staff, particularly like the learn to swim instructors and the interactions with the gym memberships. So generally it was really good, and it was really good position for all our 6 sites and not just the bigger centres like Peninsula Leisure Centre.
Thank you. And because I think that, and I don't know, maybe I should, but if that's been communicated to the community, but it strikes me that you had a really high positive feedback anyway, and then while the improvement is not huge, actually with those sort of numbers, it's just great to see that it's been built on in spite of it already being a high satisfaction feedback in 25.
So we would share that with the public. So we would do some sort of PR around that once it goes to the floor of council.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
Good news story.
It says the service changes which have been resulted. The establishing the 24-hour gym. When did you start that? How's it going? And is there any security problems with it?
We did that a number of years ago, but both at Lakehaven Recreation Centre and Peninsula Leisure Centre. That was based on some of the feedback from customers around keeping contemporary, modern gyms, etc. Security is good because we do lock down other areas of the centre. For example, in Peninsula Leisure Centre, we lock down the pool so people can't go in there, and it's just confined to the gym, and people need to have a special access pass to get into a particular area.
Good.
Well, I just ask, how many people actually utilise that 24-hour pass?
We don't have that data in front of me, but it is popular. The gym's popular.
If you could take that on notice, I'm curious about that. And I also just want to particularly comment on the fact that the play area within PLC has been fixed up, and it's fantastic. So well done.
Great. Any other questions or comments before we recommendation? So the recommendation, do I have a mover for the recommendation? Councillor Walsh, seconder, Councillor Daniels. All those, the recommendation, unanimous. Okay, thanks, Phil. Now, the water and sewer charges. Yes, take it as read.
I will move recommendation 1, and I do so a considered decision not to move item 2. I have no particular issues with data, but point 2 as recommended essentially says that after exhibition, without us having to do anything further or say it again that it is adopted, I don't think that really we have the opportunity to re-examine it, see what suggestions being made. So it's not an issue about the actual report. It's just that we would like further oversight. Hello, Jamie. Hello.
So
You snuck in the back one.
I was sitting there the whole time.
So
I can comment on that if you like. It's and I ordinarily wouldn't do that in this sort of thing. I was just the fact that this one was adopted in 2023 after a fairly extensive community engagement process, and then we put it on exhibition in 23. We had 6 submissions. 3 were about flooding, footpaths, and something else unrelated to a bushfire. So really 3 submissions that were almost relevant to the charter, and even then, so, and we've gone back out, we've used our people's panel for further engagement and refining this. There's not a lot of material changes in this anyway. It's really, if you compare the 2 documents, it looks a lot better. It's easy to read, and we've updated legislative references and things like that. So it was just to, I guess, take away some of the bureaucratic sort of process around, coming back, and if you're okay, if we can just perhaps skip bringing it back to the committee after the exhibition and go straight back to council. If
I'm happy with that. Do we need to
put a further recommendation in there.
because so we'll do a 2 but different 2 from who that's presently here.
Yeah.
So
a
2 that
to endorse it to return to go directly back to council for after public exhibition.
I'm happy to agree with that.
So could we get that up on the screen so we can voting on, please? Wait, it's up there. Any other questions for Director Loader whilst we're waiting for it to get up on the screen at all? I'd like to say when I read it through, I was really sort of impressed with how easy it was to understand. And I thought that, it really gave a really quite solid sort of description of what council is responsible for, what as a community member, if you like, all of us are responsible for when we're, using those facilities, water, sewer, whatever we're doing or whatever. And I just thought it was really, it was a conflict, but it's so clear. It doesn't mean to say people won't sometimes complain about things, but I'm just saying it is very, very clear. And I think the more it could be, promoted so that people really can see with that education side of it. I'm sure you'll do that, but it just seemed to me really so clear. When I read it, I thought that's really good.
You see, thank you. And some of the campaigns that we're running at the moment, like the Dunny Do's and Don'ts, is incorporated in there as well. So that a lot of our education programs are driven from the customer charter, and as I said, it hasn't changed much in terms of content, but the layout and it's more accessible. I've got complies more around that accessibility piece, and I've just found it so much easier to read this time around.
No, it's really easy to read.
Same information.
Okay, so
Let's change the 1 to a 2. That'd be great.
You do.
So good, isn't it?
He's so.
So the first is endorses Central the draft Central Coast.
Probably resolves, right?
And 2 is endorses.
Really resolves that council receives the report after.
Yeah.
Without being returned to this committee.
Yeah.
Endorses that the
Resolves that this committee. resolves that council receives the report immediately after public without the necessity of returning it to this.
We can't resolve, we can only recommend, so we're gonna have to use some word that isn't resolving, I think, for that point, in terms of point 2.
So you would put, so that would start, that council
Yeah.
receives, so that
That,
point 2 would start at the word receives the report
yeah,
immediately after public
yeah,
exhibition.
get rid of endorses there,
And then council makes a decision.
yeah,
This will come with a covering report.
yeah. So it's gonna read, the second bit's gonna read, second sentence, that council,
No, you've got that the committee recommends that council
yes,
receives the report.
yeah, receives the report immediately after public exhibition. That's what we're going with this. Okay, so on that point,
Have to proceed with that as amended.
um,
The return
Yeah.
mover, start accepting that. I was gonna-
did you, who moved it in the first place? Yeah,
So I'm moving.
yes,
I'm
yes.
moving this motion now as amended.
Yes, you are. Okay, so councillor Lillis moving this as amended. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Walsh? Yep. All those in favour of the amended recommendation? Sorry, motions, recommendations, I'm getting confused. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Indeed. Oh, no, we got the sharks. Oh, no, we're not
I know we
doing
did
the
this
sharks.
sharks already.
We're not doing the sharks. We've already done the sharks. Yep.
This matter, I assume as chair, you can allow us to do business arising or something.
Yeah, we have.
All right, well, I'll
Go
just
ahead and try.
Perhaps we can say it anyway and then we'll.
shut up. Chair, I note in the EMP committee, there was a discussion about homelessness, but it was in light of some suggestions about relocating homeless people. And I think what it highlighted, and I think what the committee agreed, is that this committee should maybe have a conversation about the social element to homelessness. And I know there've probably been numerous forums and things like that, and I'm not suggesting we do it all again. I'm just suggesting that we get an update and have a bit of a conversation about what strategies are in place for council, but also more widely in terms of homelessness. Could we put that on a forward agenda?
Well, I think I would be more than happy to speak to the director about making sure we revisit that and have something on the agenda for the next meeting, which is going to be in, I think it's September. And so I think that's an important point, and I'm happy to accept that.
Thank you, Chair.
At that point, must be the quickest community and culture meeting we've had. I'm going to declare the meeting closed at, where are we? 5:23 p.m. And the next meeting will be Tuesday, the 8th of September.